Alright guys, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. If you have not already, please subscribe if you love SEO like I do. I release videos very frequently to help you succeed in the SERPs. In today's video, I would like to discuss the 5 mistakes, when internal linking. That will be in today's video, so let's get into it. So the 5 most common mistakes, when you're doing your internal linking for SEO campaigns, we're going to start off with mistake number 1. So this will be number 1. The number 1 is the actual lack of internal linking. The common mistake that you assume that a search engine is actually going to know or care about your page is a very common mistake. So the lack of internal linking is a super mistake that you need to absolutely avoid with your SEO campaigns or your client campaigns. You need to make sure that all of your pages are internally linked, starting with the top, your top domain, going down, however your page is structured. I don't like to give things labels. That's how I am. Silos, whatever you want to call it, whatever your page architecture is, make sure that you're using internal links to help the pages that are maybe new, help push them up. I don't know how to further articulate this concept or this thought, but internal linking is a definite must, and it's something that you need to avoid with these 5 common mistakes. Make sure you're using internal links. Now, another common thing, let's just move on to number 2. So number 2, one of the most common mistakes, something that you need to avoid with your SEO campaigns, is too many outbound links. A common mistake is actually having too many outbound links. The number Google gives you is 100, You do not want to have on one singular page more than 100 outbound links. However, in my opinion, I would not have more than 50. Think about it this way. If you're trying to acquire a link, right? Would you want to acquire a link from a page that has more than 10 outbound links or 5 outbound links? Why? Because the link equity is much less. So think about that from your own perspective. If you have a page with 100 or 50 outbound links, it's really diminishing the return, So I personally would not go above 50 outbound links. You might want to keep it less than that, but that is going to be number 2. Having too many outbound links on a page is definitely a no-no. So let's just go ahead and move on into number 3. So number 3, a common mistake is going to be using the wrong anchor text. So when it comes down to it, one of the worst things that you can absolutely do is using the wrong anchor text to internally link your pages. Let's give you an example. If you're on a page and you have a page that is click, or click here, right? Or using a really long string, perhaps, this is an absolute no-no. Search engines are trying to put the pieces together. They want to find the most relevant search for a particular user, right? So why don't you help them along? When you're doing your internal links, you can use variation words, you can use exact match, but at all times you want to give the search engines as much information as possible. So when you're doing your internal linking, use variation words, use exact match, use sediment words, use as many different variations that you possibly can, but stay away from generic anchors when you're doing your internal linking, and that is number 3. So let's just go ahead and move on into number 4 here. So number 4 is, let's go ahead and write number 4 here. Number 4 will be using different anchor text, okay, linking to the same page. So say you have your main page, okay? This will be a simple example. So you'll have your page, right? This will be your main page that you're trying to rank. Remember, Google does not rank websites, they rank pages. So when you're doing your internal linking to another page for, let's just say your word you want to rank is plumber, okay? So it's going to be plumber, right? Plumber. So you use, and you write an awesome article about plumbers. Let's say your word is plumbers, right? And you do plumbers. Now, on this main page here, you link out or internally link to another page, you use your exact match. But on another link on the same page going to that page, you use a word like friendly goat, right? I'm just using this as a very oddball, but this is a very serious thing, okay? When you're doing one internal link to another, okay, you want to avoid using different anchor text going to the same pages. This is a common mistake in over-optimized pages. It's a common mistake that you need to avoid. Using different anchor text linking to the same page is an absolute no-no for your internal linking and your SEO campaigns, especially in 2019, moving into 2020. Now, the number 5 thing, the last piece on the list, I didn't really do this in any particular order, but number 5, okay? Number 5 is going to be orphan pages. Now, there are strategies. I'm sure you've heard of people using orphan pages in their own right, okay? I'm not going to get into that today. However, in big internal linking no-no for your SEO campaigns is going to be having orphan pages. I want you to think of a website as a bag of Skittles, okay? If you have a bag of Skittles and you rip it open and you start pouring, underneath are a bunch of hands, okay? Your hands are underneath the bag of Skittles. You're pouring like this, evenly, right? But the orphan page, they don't have their hands out. They have their hands out, but their fingers are open like this. These hands are getting full of this link equity being passed around majestically around the site, right? But that last orphan page has its little fingers open. They're not cupped. It's not catching the Skittles properly. So that is something that you're going to most certainly want to avoid is orphan pages. So let's run down this as a recap, okay? Let's just run through it as a recap here, exactly what we covered in today's SEO video for internal linking, things to avoid when you're internally linking. So number 1 was the lack, okay? So number 1 is the lack of internal links. You need to avoid it. Number 2 was too many outbound links. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 3 was using the wrong anchor text. Okay, number 4 was different anchor text. Okay, linking to the same page, so different 2, same page. Okay, and number 5 was orphan pages. Avoid like plague. All right, so that was going to wrap up today's video, SEO video. If you like these videos, if you like learning about SEO with Chris Palmer, that's me, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a big thumbs down. But if you leave me a thumbs down, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you did not like. Tell me what can I do to help with your SEO learning, because really I'm here to help. Obviously, my main objective is to teach search engine optimization. I want to help people succeed. My wife and I have a business. I work with my brother and a partner of mine, and I don't know how to get out into words, but my main goal is to help small businesses. I want to help people succeed online. Everything is switching, guys. So, there's a lot of voices out there talking, but they're not giving the types of information that I want to share. So if you have a problem with my videos, or there's something that I can fix, please leave it in the comments below. If you have an idea for a video, leave it in the comments. I will make a video pertaining to your question for you that we can share with everybody. That's the goal here, all right? Learning, helping. I hope to see you in the next video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.